Here's your recipe for stir fry. So I'll post in the video maybe the ingredients, or I'll send it to you. But here's quick. First thing is you definitely want to take your time to chop up all your vegetables ahead of time before you start to cook. Have them all prepared, and what I've done is I've kind of organized them by kind of how hard they are. So I have some carrots, and notice about, I don't want to cut them too thick because then they just aren't going to cook enough. So I kind of like cut them in quarters there, and then I slice them down a little bit more. Some broccoli, take some time to really get them nice because you're going to want to eat them, and kind of evenly sized. Some mushrooms, these are the softer vegetables, they'll cook quicker. Red pepper, some onion, mushroom. I use sweet onion, Vidalia onion or sweet onion, they'll call it either one. I don't use the yellow onions. That's about 3/4 of an onion. You could probably, if you bought a big one, you could probably do half of it. Onions has a lot of flavor, so you don't want to scrimp your onion. And you want to cut it in such a way that they'll separate nicely, so they're individual. And then I also got some pea pods and some celery. And depending on your access down south, maybe you get green beans. And green beans, pea pods cook really fast. Celery's pretty fast too. I like celery, it gives you a little bit of crunch, nice flavor. I got just a can of water chestnuts. I cut up some ginger and garlic, which is an optional, fresh ginger. But it's nice touch. You always want to add in a little garlic, give you some flavor. I got a spice packet here. I just bought this one, as we have. Whatever sounds good. I got sweet ginger, garlic, chicken vegetable seasoning. So adding a little fresh garlic to that sauce, a little fresh garlic and ginger root is nice, just to give it a little bit more. But if you don't find that, it's not imperative. And I mixed the sauce up ahead of time. I also added to it a little bit of this chili paste. This is nice to get. It gives you a little bit of heat and also a little bit of flavor. And then for my protein, I got chicken today. Not a lot, just a little bit. I cut up, have that ready, or you could of course use tofu as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by, got my pan pretty hot. And you want to put a little oil in there to get that hot. As you add in the vegetables, you don't want to overwhelm your pan. So if you don't have a real big pan, you may even want to cook them in, cook the hard stuff first, take it out, then cook the soft stuff. I have a really big pan. I'm going to start by cooking the protein first. And then once that protein, I'm just going to brown it a little bit. I am going to remove the protein, then cook the vegetables, and then add the protein, chicken or whatever, back in at the end. You could even use 2 pans. So I'm just letting that oil get nice and hot. You don't want to put the chicken in too soon. It just kind of sits there in the oil. You want it to be really pretty hot before you put it in. So I'm just getting that pan going. Just splash just a tiny bit of water on it. Plop this chicken on. And fry that up. Spread it out a little bit. When it first goes down, get a nice grease on. I'm just going to let it, I'm not going to move it around at first because I don't want it to start to all shred. I got a little screen, so I want to let it cook a minute and then I'll turn it. I'm just going to cook it about 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, just brown it a little bit. Then I'm going to set it over on the plate and then I'll add the vegetables in. So I just cook them and pause. It's starting to brown nice. I'm just turning it a little bit. And, a little bit sticking on the bottom, which is okay because it's going to give us a little bit of flavor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use a little, this is optional, but it's very cheap, dried cherry. That's like a secret ingredient in a lot of Chinese dishes. You just add a little bit of that to the pan after you cook the meat, and that will help deglaze it. So that's an option. You could buy a bottle of that and just use a little bit here and there. It's nice to have around. Very, very cheap, like $3 or so. So I'm going to let that cook a little bit more, and then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to throw the vegetables on. Little pieces. So it doesn't have to cook long, but I definitely want to get it brown because once I take the chicken off, when I add it back into the vegetables, it's not going to get a chance to brown anymore because it's going to be all those vegetables and stuff are going to be in there. So I get my chicken nice and brown. I could have browned it even a little more, but these are small pieces, so I don't want to overcook them. So I'm going to take them off the burner, and maybe you can see it smoking. I'm going to add a little more fresh oil. I'm going to get some vegetables on there right away. And I'm going to start with the hard ones, the carrots. And if you have green beans, start with those too. So I'm going to give the carrots a little time on their own. And I'm going to throw a little bit of sherry in there, which is really going to cause a little bit of a steam and stuff. Now I'm going to mix that around to deglaze it. That's getting that chicken fat off into like a little sauce. And wow, it smells very good. Getting those guys. Now this is where you want to be careful. You don't want your as we add more and more vegetables, it will reduce the heat in the pan. So you want to keep your burner pretty hot. I'm going to add a little more oil to that. Now I'm going to throw my broccoli in next one. Wait a minute though. And it's cooking up nice. I added a little more that sherry in there. Put a little more oil, and now I'm going to put in my onions and my peppers. I'll just